From the many realms of Atheris to the distant reaches of the 13th via the magic of podcasting, this is episode 44 of A Podcast Reborn, a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and possible future of Final Fantasy XIV. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, October 22nd of 2023. The following podcast may contain pure language and spoilers for the MSQ. My name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro, and folks, I am disappointed. See, I went clothes shopping yesterday, and for the life of me, I couldn't find a new belt. Turns out the new Melee job bought them all. Yes, we're recording a day after the London Fan Fest keynote address, and can you guess what I'm excited about most from what we learned? Well, before I tell you that, I do have to welcome my wonderful co-hosts. First off is our Chaos Gremlin and a very sad cat mom who wants to know where her mom cat is. Hi, Meagan.
What?
I'm going to give you a minute to figure that out.
Mom cat is?
Yes. What?
Or perhaps your mommy.
Oh!
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Look, I am so deep in the brain fog soup.
She's so sick she can't even be degenerate.
I just, you gotta be straightforward with me. I can do it. Put me in, coach.
My condolences for the lack of female Hrothgar at the keynote address.
I did he trolled me again because he's like, we got another special announcement. I was like, oh, and then of course it was Fall Guys again. So of course I fell for it twice.
You see, I thought it was going to happen when they went to the graphical update and they were showing the comparison of the faces. Yeah. I thought that was going to be the moment that they were going to surprise sneak it in where they'd have like a male Hrothgar and a female Hrothgar. If there was a moment to do it, that was when to do it, but nope.
Yeah. Once again, they didn't even mention them. And I was watching the stream, and I'm like, not the at the end of the stream, a bunch of people were like, "Female Hrothgar from Hrothgar? Where's Hrothgar?" And I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one.
Well, I know you're definitely not the only one on this podcast because, of course, along with you, we have, as always, from the Goblin server and Parts Unknown, we have blogger, Altaholic, and dad joker extraordinaire, and someone who may be recording from somewhere in a mirror dimension. Hi, Brandon.
How's it going, everyone? Yeah, it's true. I was also disappointed in the lack of mentions for female Hrothgar, because, come on, you know people are looking forward to it. Why not just tease us a little bit? But I digress. Did I ever tell you guys about the reason I don't usually heal in groups?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, it turns out it's because people keep yelling at me when I'm healing. It's all like, when are you going to cleanse these debuffs, man? I'm so tired of it. I keep telling them, I'll get around to it sooner or later.
I was like, how is he going to make a thing out of a sooner?
It's sooner or later.
I get it.
Hold up just a second. I hate to record this. My wife is sitting next to me. Hun, why are you shaking your head at me? You don't play this game.
Just the dad joke energy.
It's like being a gremlin for you. It's just all around. It surrounds us. It binds us. No, I swear I haven't started playing Old Republic again.
Oh boy.
2 gremlins now, because Bonbon is a super fucking gremlin. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of the Old Republic and old MMOs, I have to ask either of you, have either of you played Final Fantasy XI before?
No.
Nope,
I was
never
like,
touched it.
It just barely missed me. Like, I played a little bit of World of Warcraft in high school, and then I played it in, like, college, and then after college, and there was, like, that window in between when I played the 2 times I played WoW when 11 was really big, and I remember hearing about it, because, you know, I was in a bunch of weeaboo circles, but I was like, oh, it's like that World of Warcraft game? That game was dumb. Little did I know.
Oh my goodness. Did that come out before or after WoW? I don't remember.
Final Fantasy 11 is before World of Warcraft. I can speak from experience there because my MMO history was Ultima Online, the very first MMO, but some would argue. Although, I mean, there were MUDs and stuff before that. But Ultima Online, and then I went to Final Fantasy XI, and my Link Shell group, half of them ended up abandoning 11 and went to World of Warcraft. If it weren't for the mass exodus to World of Warcraft, I may have never ended up joining that and playing World of Warcraft myself.
Mm.
Okay, I thought that was the case because I think 11 was back when I was still in my mindset of paying a monthly fee to play a video game? That sounds like the stupidest thing ever.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah,
See, I was already conditioned to it from Ultima Online, and the reason why we did it for Ultima Online is because back then, the MMO experience was still a very new thing, and so this idea of participating in this game with dozens, hundreds of other people at the same time online, 20 years ago, that was crazy technology. That was like mind-blowing stuff. It's when it's something more than just, people playing in a blackjack room on America Online or something. Yes, I'm seriously dating myself. But yeah, 20 years ago, huge deal. I think I was actually connecting to Final Fantasy XI on dial-up when I first started playing. I am pretty damn sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Man. Did you ever play EverQuest?
No, I did not play EverQuest, and I had heard of it, but it was one of those things where I think I never ended up playing EverQuest because it was kind of like when I was playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV had been around for years. I'm like, well, I only really have time for one MMO in my life and one subscription fee, really, too. So it was like, EverQuest looks cool. It looks a lot better than Final Fantasy XI. And, I mean, concept-wise, sounds great. But I'm like, everyone I know is playing Final Fantasy XI. Like I said, it took an exodus of half the people moving to World of Warcraft for me to jump games.
Mm. Yeah, I literally, when I was in high school, had a friend have his grades tank because he was playing EverQuest too much. There was something about fucking EverQuest, man. Like, I've heard a lot of stories about it. It must have been extremely addictive. Like, people
between that and all the sorry, go ahead.
Like, more so than WoW, more so than any other MMO, it seems like EverQuest destroyed lives. I don't know why, and I don't know how. It kind of made me scared to try it.
EverQuest was the first really... I would say EverQuest was the first real mainstream MMO. I mean, Ultima Online and Final Fantasy XI came before it, but I would argue that they still those games cater to very niche groups, while EverQuest, I feel, is like the first one that really hit mainstream. And so there were more people playing it, more stories to glean from it and such.
Mm.
Yeah, I think all the negative mainstream press coverage the game got, along with the stories like what Meagan was talking about, are exactly why I had such a negative opinion about MMOs for so long. I don't think I started playing World of Warcraft until, probably in my later college years.
Yeah. The reason why I bring up Final Fantasy XI is because there are two things which I'm equally excited for from what I took away from London Fan Fest. And I'm glad that one of them is something that you two aren't going to say, probably, because you've never played Final Fantasy XI, and that is the identity of the Alliance raid being Echoes of Vana'diel. Vana'diel is the realm that Final Fantasy XI takes place in, and I am super excited that that is the Alliance raid series, because while I did not play Final Fantasy XI from beginning to where it is right now, and there may be some of like the big bosses from some of the latter content I'm unfamiliar with, there are certain characters, certain bosses that if they give it the same treatment they gave the Omega raid, and we go up against, I'm going to mention names and you people are going to be like, huh, what? But if we go up against the Shadow Lord, if we go up against Promathia, if we go up against the freaking Jailer of Love, by the way, the Jailer of Love is a huge-ass jellyfish. Oh my god.
See,
I am going to be so stoked.
All I know about Final Fantasy 11 bosses is the fucking the goddamn legend of the one that took like 20 continuous hours.
That
And, like, guilt
that
for
is
like passing out and
so. The funny thing about that is that one is already in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh really?
So that is Absolute Virtue, and Absolute Virtue is part of, I think, Bozja. Is it Bozja or is it? I think it's Bozja, but it's in one of the. It's either Bozja or Eureka. It's actually, it may be Eureka now that I'm thinking of it. It's one of the bosses in the latter end of Eureka. Like there's some raid thing in Eureka. I haven't even fought it yet, but there's a minion it drops called Conditional Virtue. And I have that minion that was gifted to me by Riri, actually, from Riri's Casino. He's been on the show before, but when I saw Absolute Virtue was in the game, I was really stoked about that. I thought, hey, that's a cool Final Fantasy 11 reference. I mean, honestly, a lot of the models in 14, a lot of the 1.0 like creature models in 14 were adapted from 11.
I think Eureka is like also supposed to be like an 11 homage.
Yeah.
I remember it's literally like, don't let the monsters look at you. That's how they aggro.
So, like, when it comes to this Alliance raid, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking either they're going to tie it to Eureka tangentially, like, maybe they'll actually make more of a connection of like why Eureka is tied to Vana'diel and stuff from Vana'diel. Or Vana'diel is going to be one of the reflections, and it better be the 11th reflection because, of course...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a reflection because, like...
I don't think so either.
It's going to have to be in that.
Right. I mean, they tried to tie the Alliance raid stuff into the lore. I mean, hell, they did it with the 12 this time. It's kind of a significant tie-in stuff to the lore.
But it's not like necessary for the MSQ, you know? It's not like you're going to run into
you don't know. You don't need to know the near raid to really have a full like understanding and stuff of the lore and stuff. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that it becomes more of the greater story of like the source and the reflections and stuff. But while I'm hoping for that, I'm not counting on that. I think they will probably end up treating it more like the near raid and less like Return to Ivalice. Like Return to Ivalice, they were doing tribute to the Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy Tactics. They were doing tribute to that, but still incorporating it and making it part of 14's world. I don't know if this one's going to get that same treatment or not. I want it to get that kind of treatment, but I doubt it. Mm-hmm. The second thing, and I will say this really quick, is the very first thing that I'm going to get from the Final Fantasy 16 collab, if I have any choice in it, is going to be the Orchestrion role. And they better have the Orchestrion role for Find the Flame, or I will be burning buildings down.
Oh, no.
I mean, come on. If they played that music for the promo of it, that's got to be an Orchestrion role. It is some of the most hype music that Soken's come out with, and I love the dude's music so much, and the fact that 16's coming with a collab, it's like they got to have that Orchestrion role in there. If they're going to do any Orchestrion roles, that's like at the top of the list. So I'm kind of hyped about that. So those are the things I'm hyped about. I doubt that's going to match what either one of you are looking for. So Meagan, have you had a chance to watch the keynote address? And if so, what were you the most hyped for?
Just the keynote. I haven't watched any of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. Mostly, well, I'm intrigued by the new job. I don't know how much I really liked Reaper, but like Reaper is like the simplest of the melee jobs, and they're like, we're making a melee job for people who like hyper complicated shit, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, do you like being in melee and having a complicated reputation, but don't want to be a Naruto weeaboo? Like, not me. Oh, thank you. I'm hoping that Green Mage turns out to be like another like Summoner 2.0, like Rock Stupid rotation, because I need that shit. Okay, I can't learn a fight and do a complicated rotation at the same time, especially not now when my brain is soup.
I don't think your brain's going to be soup by this summer, is it?
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah.
So like where me and my raid team are fighting Zeramus now. Like we just downed him on Thursday.
Nice.
I got my weapons. That was fun. But like when we're learning it, I'm like, my brain is soup and this music is boiling the soup. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun fight. And yeah, my raid team that just like ran away after like failing on the second boss for a long time was like, hey, new raid. We're gonna come back and like just do that. And I'm like, okay, why not? But yeah, what was this about? What did we start this with?
So we originated with what were you most excited about, and you pretty
God.
much said Viper had you the most excited.
Yeah, I want to play Wipe-Ball. Doesn't go Wipe a lot, but it's okay.
I don't think anyone had that. I don't think anyone had that name on their bingo card.
No, absolutely
no,
not.
Definitely not.
I was surprised, but then I was like, it makes sense. And it's like they really needed another scouting job. And they didn't have anything from previous games that made that much sense for it, so they were like, fuck it.
I will simply say, I'm Brandon, I'm not sure about your reaction to Viper yet, but I will simply say, if you all like reaction videos, and you want to see someone just have the most pleasant, happiest reaction to Viper and what it is and how it does and what it do, go to YouTube and search for Craftless Rogue. That is the YouTube channel for John Jagger, who, has been on the show before, does a podcast called Core. And I would paraphrase what he said, but honestly, just go watch his reaction to the keynote address. He was very, very happy. And I love the way he put it. It seems like Viper was absolutely made for him, and knowing him and the history he's had with characters in MMOs in general and stuff like that, this does feel like this is more than likely going to be his new main. Mm-hmm. How about you, Brandon? Hyped for Viper? Is that going to be added to one of your 10 billion alts?
Hey, I only have 3 characters in FF14, okay? Cut me a little bit of slack, but yes, Viper does look pretty cool. I had no idea, because I have not watched the full keynote. I've only read summaries of it. I had no idea they were trying to aim on making it a fairly complicated, like, I'm guessing on the level of Ninja or something like it.
Yeah, Yoshi said that himself, like right after they introduced it. He said that we made this for players who were wanting this kind of gameplay, but not having to be a ninja to do it.
I mean, I'm down for not being a ninja. I mean, friggin' weebs. Sorry, couldn't resist. Wow. Yeah, Viper does look cool. I don't find ninja, like, I'm not optimized at playing ninja by any stretch of the imagination. I can describe my level of not complacency. What the heck's the word? Competence with ninja as I'm decent. So I expect that I'll probably be at an equivalent level with Viper, and I'm still going to enjoy it because it looks cool. I like the idea of, like, dual wielding swords and then, slapping them together. Has some very Jedi Survivor vibes there. The first thing I thought of when I saw it was, wait a minute. Back when I first got married, I came across a couple of Nerf swords in a store that did the same thing. I wonder if I still have those. And then I went and found them and terrorized my children for about 15 minutes.
Have you considered renaming your first Viper character to Cal Kestis?
Thought about it, but nah, probably not going to do it. Plus, I'm pretty sure someone has that name taken already. So.
I'm sure there's maybe not as many as there are Sephiroths in Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm sure there's quite a few Cal Kestises if you did search on Lodestone.
I'm sure.
But okay, besides Viper, was there anything so you haven't watched the keynote, but is that the big thing for you?
Keynote. Honestly, the further extended trailer, I'm pretty sure this is still not the full one at this point. Right. It looks fantastic. I love the inclusion of all the new Estinian scenes. Like, oh, so that's why he's getting mobbed by everybody. That's adorable. I love it. I'm just like, yeah, tell me what we're doing next. I want new places to explore. I want a new story to enjoy. I'm not super hyped about the Alliance raid, but that's pretty much par for the course because Myths of the Realm aside, I have not really enjoyed any of the Alliance raids like to a great degree. I mean, Void Ark is just kind of it's all right, but the experiences in there mean it's tempered somewhat. I have no fond attachment to Ivalice. I really have no fond attachment to Final Fantasy XI, and the Nier raids were a disappointment on a level I cannot properly articulate without devolving into frothing rage. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Great.
They're fun to play, but the story in them is hot freaking garbage. And
it's not. I love the little derp twins, babies.
No, I think Brandon's referring to coming from someone who's played Nier Automata.
I have never touched Nier Automata, and that's why I'm so disappointed.
Oh, okay.
So, I went into that expecting to be like, oh man, I'm going to get maybe a slightly condensed version of the story of Nier, and that's going to make me hyped to play the game. And I did not get that. I got hot garbage surrounded by two freaking annoying dwarves.
Sir, they never do a story recap. Like, dear Lord, have you played any of the other crossovers?
No.
It's well.
I did Ivalice, and I felt like that story, if it wasn't completely accurate to the game, I found it fulfilling and tying up everything that happened in it in a pretty nice bow. I felt like we got a complete package out of that. Nier was just like, what? Wait, what? This is how you're ending that? And I have to deal with these two annoying dwarves all the live long day?
No, you don't. One of them fucking leaves and then sacrifices herself at the end. Sir,
at the end.
Yeah, but she's been gone for the entire third wing.
Doesn't matter. There were still two wings where I had to deal with her annoying the absolute piss out of me.
God.
They were awful and I hated them.
Sir, do you know how to have empathy?
Yes, I absolutely do. I just don't have empathy for people who are nothing but annoying twat waffles.
You know that they're children,
is that why you
right?
stake the Starion?
Abso-friggin-lutely.
You do realize that they're children, right?
Annoying children?
Okay.
Still annoying.
Fuck them kids, quote the BMAT.
I'm sorry, which one of us on this call actually has children?
If your children were annoying, would you be like, I'm not dealing with you?
Yeah, it's called Go Outside.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Are you two surprised that you're going to get to fall in 10 days?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's so soon, I will admit. I did not think it would happen that quickly.
I thought it would. I thought it would be 655 content. I really did.
Same.
Oh man.
I think they're doing this as a way to the way they're pacing stuff. I feel okay, so Fall Guys is going to entertain people for probably the mass of people is going to entertain them for, probably 2 or 3 weeks or so. Then you get into the holidays, so you get kind of a pass there. After the holidays, you have 6.55 and the Japanese Fan Fest with more Dawn Trail stuff. And then I think that the 16 collab will probably be something like a 657, 658 thing, sometime between 655 and the launch of Dawn Trail.
I'm very I've not yet played 16, but I know that we get a woofie.
Yeah, Torgal is freaking amazing, and the fact that his mount special is letting you pet him, that was very clever.
I missed that.
Oh yes, you need to see the video of the collab stuff. So yeah, the mount special is you get to pet Torgal. And there's a Torgal minions, a puppy Torgal, They've got.
I want them to bring back the 15 club too, just so that my alt can get a car. Like the storyline was pretty dumb, but
okay,
the glam and the mount that came out of it, top tier.
But, yes, they were.
Pop quiz. I want to see how well you two are paying attention and how well you know me in Final Fantasy XIV. If the number one thing I want from the 16 collab is the orchestrion role, what is the number 2 thing?
The fancy outfit?
No.
No?
No.
Is it like a card? You want to?
There you go. Okay,
that was going to be my guess. I'm going to say it's a triple triad card.
You know they're going to come out with a Clive triple triad card. They did not. They did the Noctis card for the 15 collab, so they'll add Clive's card for the 16 collab, almost guaranteed. So yes, the Clive card.
See, I don't know anything about 16 other than like Clive is extremely sexy, and everybody on the internet lost their minds over him for like a solid week. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, the guy who does the voice for him is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a just from all the like tweets about him fanboying over the 14-16 collab that an FC mate of mine, hi Jess, has sent our group. Yeah, he's a big goofy nerd, and I gotta love him for that.
I wonder now in 15 they didn't voice Noctis. It's all in text. A part of me really hopes, and I'm going to lean toward they're not going to do this. But man, it would be awesome if they got him to voice some stuff for the quest line.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm predicting they will.
I'm going to say they're going to be no voice acting during the quest storyline, but we're going to get some battle lines. Like during the Ifrit fight, he's going to be like...
Things that will probably pull... They could probably pull some things from the game and stuff, that makes sense, sure.
So we got no voice acting, full voice acting, and something in the middle. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. we covered all our bases.
Combat voice acting. Which is generally how they do the... like raids and dungeons and stuff. So they'll be like talking to you in text in between boss fights, and then during boss fights they're throwing canned phrases at you constantly. Or like there'll be like something important happening, and like one dude will be like, "Oh, I gotta do the thing." Okay.
Talking about combat voice acting always makes me slightly uncomfortable. Because when you think combat voice acting, you also have to think about pains and grunts and stuff like that that are using combat voice acting. And then the people who take said pains and grunts and apply them in very Rule 34-ish ways.
Oh, my goodness.
I saw a fucking TikTok of a man who was hired as a supplemental voice actor for Baldur's Gate 3 to do the sex grunts. That they had already finished up all the voice acting and then realized they needed some more.
We need some ADR for this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So he's like, so when you're hearing the that's me, baby.
Oh man.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you
I don't disbelieve it. It sounds plausible.
Like in that Rule 34 stuff where they're using the combat sounds, you can't do anything gentle with that, man.
No, you can't.
And Baldur's Gate 3 can be very romantic. So we need the soft grunts.
Right.
Baby.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would not be surprised if all of the scenes, even the ones with Astarion, but I wouldn't know since I staked the guy. It's all probably very tasteful softcore stuff.
Yeah. You can let him bite you while you're doing it.
Well, yeah. Just answer this question. He doesn't like glitter and glow, right?
No.
Ugh.
Okay.
He might as well.
He has a very sad boy tragic backstory. He's like extreme fangirl bite. But he only reveals his tragic backstory after you bang him because his back is covered in scars that you only see after you do the do. He's like, these scars, yes, this is from my tragic backstory. I don't know why I'm friendly. Help me.
I actually beat Baldur's Gate 3 a few days ago. What a ride that was. And I mean, I'm sure my playthrough is very different from a lot of people because there's a lot of people who might keep Astarion in their groups, so they got to see that story. I didn't get to see that. But I think I'm going to guess I did maybe 85-90% of the content. I did a lot of stuff, it feels like.
Yeah.
Right now.
I've been told Act 3 is almost like a full game in and of itself. And
God.
going by all the things I still have to do in Act 3, if I want to do all the complete side quest content, yeah, I believe it. And there's some of them in there that are almost ridiculously challenging. Like, I don't know how you beat them without cheesing it.
So, my brain is soup. So I've been avoiding playing Baldur's Gate 3 because I feel like every decision is really important and I don't want to make a soupy brain decision. That kills somebody that I like. And I like everybody.
I'm about to give, if you have any plans of playing Baldur's Gate 3 or if you have plans of playing the Dark Urge character, I'm about to give a minor spoiler for the very beginning of his storyline. So skip ahead a minute if you need to. I started the Dark Urge playthrough on Baldur's Gate. And I'm sure you're all familiar with finding Gale, right? Hand sticking out of the portal. Mm-hmm. My Dark Urge character, there's an extra option for the Dark Urge character that says fantasize about cutting off his hand or something like that, or eating his hand.
Fantasize? Don't actually do it?
The option says fantasize. So I'm like, sure, because there's been inner monologue stuff, the narrator saying, oh, you're thinking about this, that, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let's see what the narrator says for that. So I click that option. Next thing I know, he closes his eyes, opens them up, and he has Gale's severed hand. Actually, yes, he took off Gale's hand. There's blood all over the thing, and you don't get Gale's storyline for the rest of the game. Now, here's the thing. You took his hand. You don't know if Gale died or not. You never hear or see from him again, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yep.
You have Shadowheart with you? Is she
No.
hardcore?
No, Shadowheart, you see, for my Dark Urge character, I went Dark Urge Githyanki. So yeah, when I found Shadowheart, she was trying to get into the ruins, and she sees me, and I abandon her at the ship because, it's Githyanki and stuff, and Lae'zel said, don't mess with the person in the pod. So I'm like, okay, sure. So then I find Shadowheart, and Shadowheart wants nothing to do with me, tells me to back off. So I stepped forward. That started a fight, and Shadowheart's dead within the first 5 minutes of my Githyanki Dark Urge.
Wow.
And I have the MacGuffin already.
So I have two Dark Urge characters, one that's resisting it and one that's full on embracing it. My embracing it one is a Dragonborn. I went with the default appearance, although I picked a different class. And so I actually rescued her on the ship and brought her along, did the whole, pick her up on the beach thing. And she's like, oh, yeah, cool, we're friends. When I did that to Gale, she was like, he asked you to give him a hand, not take his.
Somehow I felt like maybe little Miss Shar Worshipper would be into it. You'd be like,
and
I can tell you why she was so horrified, but there's spoilers for her personal story.
Oh my god. So I'm giving you a challenge, okay? You have to play a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough where you don't kill any of the party members. You have to play the 100% nice good guy.
Freaking character.
My main playthrough.
Astarion was trying to suck my blood.
Make a character that wouldn't kill him.
My main playthrough, which is currently in Act 3 and is a few quests away, didn't stake Astarion, so I'm almost there.
I mean,
don't kill any party members challenge.
I'll give it my best shot, but I mean, I'm just
be a really friendly and charismatic bard, okay?
It's not even like either of those characters. Well, okay, Dark Urge different, but it's not like Feyrana was being all edgy and staking Astarion. Feyrana felt her life was being freaking threatened.
He said he was sorry. He started talking to you.
That doesn't really excuse the fact that he tried to do it while you were sleeping. I mean, how are you going to ever trust the guy again?
He wasn't intending to kill you. He might have killed you.
Or so he says.
Well, yeah, you gotta trust him. You gotta have a stupid trusting character. Those exist because I play them all the time.
So you're telling me my challenge is to play a character that is good and trusting of what everybody says.
Yes.
Now, what if there are people that say two conflicting things and they're both like, trust me, I'm telling the truth? Because I'll tell you what, that comes up in Baldur's Gate 3 without a doubt.
Whichever one you like more at that time. That's who you believe.
Okay. Okay.
Look, honestly, you should be pretty dumb unless you're like a fucking... Who has intelligence? Sorcerers? Wizards?
Wizards.
Yes, wizards.
Be a dumb sorcerer. Be like, I'm very charismatic and I have no idea what's going on. And I can throw a giant fireball.
If you mod the
No.
game.
So I've done Storm Sorcery Cleric, and I've done and the Dark Urge character is going to be Thief Assassin. I think my next playthrough is and in the playthrough I have with Zim, I'm doing Kern, which is a Bronze Dragonborn Eldritch Knight.
But you brought Kern back?
Yeah, and
nice.
Kern with the javelin that comes back, the trident that comes back. It's really nice, especially since there is a magical trident in the game. A couple of them actually. There's a legendary trident that you get in Act 3 that I'm so happy that Kern is going to have the opportunity to find. I found it on Faerana. But anyhow, I was distracted. But my next playthrough will be a Circle of Spores Druid, because that's kind of funky, and I like funky subclasses.
My resisting the Dark Urge character is a half-orc Spores Druid, and it is a lot of fun.
I am playing Githyanki Druid in my Twitch stream.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty great.
I'm a bear druid because I always feel like with the starting lineup, you really need a tank. You need your character to be a tank for it to work very well. Unless you can
you have one.
What, Lizelle?
Well, technically yes, but I was talking about Karlach.
Yeah, if you could. The thing is, like, it takes a little bit to get Karlach. But
you mean you don't bum rush to go get her as soon as you can on every single playthrough you start? Huh.
Yeah, I do, but like you still gotta do a few fights. You gotta like fight the goblins and the if you want. I bum rush straight to Withers because I'm dumb and I die a lot. Actually, my main bard playthrough when I was a tiefling that looks like a sheep. Like, she's got black skin and white fluffy hair and, like, curly ram horns. Astarion fucking ate her and she died and I didn't have Withers.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was dumb and I let him eat me, and then I rolled a critical miss twice. And Astarion...
Wait, excuse me. Did this happen when he asked you to let him bite you?
Yes.
You just let him do it until he killed you?
Well, you're supposed to, when you're like, you could shove him off and like you gotta roll. I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
And so he drank me until I fucking died, and then I didn't even have a full party at that point. I think it was literally just like Astarion, Gale, and Lizelle? No, and Shadowheart. I didn't even have Lizelle yet.
Screen, though?
Huh?
It doesn't game over screen in that scenario?
No, it doesn't. I gotta play the other guys. Because you're supposed to be able to walk right over to Withers and be like, hey, please resurrect my idiot friend. She literally let Thirst kill her.
Did none of your characters have a little scroll of Revivify?
Oh my god, maybe they did.
I
thought I had to pay 200 gil. You fucking money.
Super brain.
Oh my
god. Well, I pretty much abandoned that playthrough because I'm like, I'm not going through this entire dungeon to get Withers.
Oh no.
Bring me back.
Yeah, I think every character starts with a Revivify scroll.
And most of your companions have one when you pick them up.
Yeah, they do. I didn't know that would work.
I can say from experience that at least as far as dead characters, it does. It should for that one, yeah.
See, on that
that's
playthrough,
hilarious.
if I had known and come back to life, I might murder a story if they let me.
Why do you think I posted on Blue Sky the only good and moral right decision is to stake the guy? He can't control himself.
He can. He's just he needs a little help. Look, that was his first time. He's literally a vampire virgin, okay?
Vampire virgin.
He spent hundreds of years murdering people. Come on.
No, you have not played his story at all.
Yes, I have. I just finished it last week.
He wasn't allowed to drink from humans. He had to drink from rats and shit. And you saw that by looking into his mind, so it's not even like he lied to you about it.
It doesn't change the fact that he spent 200 years murdering people, even if he didn't drink them.
Yeah, but he's a virgin. He's never drunken blood, human blood before. So he didn't know how to control himself very good. But you can, talk him out of it if you've got good charisma, which was my bard. And I tried, and, not one, baby. I have, really bad luck with rolls in Baldur's Gate, and it's kind of hilarious. Especially when I'm my Githyanki bear, and my bear just fucking whiffs shit all the time.
So, for those of you who skipped a minute and found us still talking about this game, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's occupied, I think, a lot of people's lives lately. So it's something that's probably going to happen for at least another episode or two. I do want to try to switch the topic back to Final Fantasy XIV, just because we have only about 15-20 minutes left. I get two questions. First, Meagan, have you and your group been able to do any more regular MSQ? Playthrough?
Oh yes, we're in Heaven's Ward now.
Nice.
Woo! We saw the big ending thing. They do not believe any of the Scions are dead, but they do believe Nanamo is dead. So,
when I played it the first time, I thought that Nanamo was dead too. I did not think she was coming back.
I was very well. Nanamo's always been my favorite because I love cute things. She is the cinnamon roll. It's like her and Tataru, so cute. But I thought that she had died, and then this was kind of the first time I sat up and took notice and was like, oh, this MSQ is serious business. People die, especially the whole scene after where fucking Raban gets his arm cut off and everything. But it was really funny. I don't know if you remember this, but you're escaping in the tunnels, and then Minfilia just stops, and she's like, "I gotta go back." And we're like, "Why?" She's like, Hydaelyn said so. And I was like, did she? She's like, yeah, bye. And turns around and leaves. So we're like, what? And I'm like, and my friend's like, I bet Hydaelyn just said no. And Minfilia took that as turn around and go back to die like an idiot. I'm like, yeah, everybody's really into self-sacrifice in the Scions. But yeah.
Frickin' Y'shtola and Thank are both gave their lives to do a delaying action, or so we thought.
Yeah,
I mean, even the twins eventually,
Yeah,
Ugh.
and frickin' Minfilia is just I gotta go back. Why? I don't know. I'm not allowed in Heaven's Word.
Ironic, considering what she becomes.
Oh man, and they are getting very attached to Harfashant. He is super fucking charming and cute.
Yes.
Oh my god, we just did the trial by combat for Tataru, and Harfashant has this really cute line where he's like, "If your spirit falters, look to me in the stands, and I will cheer so hard you'll have no choice but to smile." And I'm like, "Oh my god, Harfashant, stop! You're laying on so thick, you're so cute." But yeah, they were like, oh, he's into us, immediately upon meeting him. Well, we have a joke about, our elf boyfriends of, Emmerich and Harfashant at this point. Mm-hmm. And, anytime they ask us to go, meet with Emmerich, I'm like, oh, our boyfriend's calling us.
I'm curious what the reaction to meeting Estinian's going to be. I'm assuming none of them are dragoons.
No, that one of them is.
Okay.
And so they met him all. And you meet him one time. Remember, my friend is a dragon girl.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Upon having Estinian show up at I can't even. It's like the first time you meet Emmerich. I think Estinian is also there, and he's like, "Look, I have Nidhogg's eye," and Cassie's like, "You took his eye? Of course you want his eye back, you dicks! Give him his eye back." So she is like 100% on Dravanian's side, and she's like, "This is dumb. How long until we can just like end this stupid war and be friends with the dragons?" And I'm like, spoilers, but you have no idea that's what's gonna happen. But like, spoilers, girl, Jesus. But yeah, so she's like,
"Let me introduce you to your new best friend.
Yeah.
Her name is Isael."
Yeah, she likes Isael, and every time that we meet Dravanian, she's like, "I want to turn into a dragon." Cool. So it's very funny because it's like the whole Heaven's Ward like motif. It's playing off the classic like knight in shining armor versus evil dragon thing, and it's like, ooh, what if that was reversed? And I'm like, okay, but what if you had like dragon brain poison and you were gonna love a dragon no matter what? This isn't gonna work. But it's very funny, and like also. The Ishgardians are generally just dicks anyway, you know?
Yes,
like,
they freaking are. Oh my god.
So
Elf boyfriends aside, they are all terrible in that opening section of Heavensward.
Mm-hmm. And like, we just had to deal with fucking Emmelaine? Emmelaine. She found him.
I have never met a character I was more disappointed to see returned in Endwalker.
It's just about the way he had that reaction. And it's like, oh man, I can only imagine you enjoyed his appearance in Endwalker.
I'm just like, why? Out of everybody possible they could have sent to captain the Ishgard contingent and Endwalker, they send your worthless ass.
Because he literally
God.
Because he literally has nothing better to do. He's a second son.
I got something better for him to do. Let's go to the top of the tower in Ishgard and yeet you off it.
I think that it's literally like an insult from Ishgard of like, yeah, we'll send you our most useless guy. Here you go. Good luck. Like, thanks, guys. Like, he wasn't doing anything. He can help you. I'm like, yeah, of course he wasn't doing anything because he's a useless idiot.
He's a walking pile of cringe in the scene where you have the freaking what are they called? The Garlemald contingent? I've forgotten it entirely. He's like sitting there, and I shall be there to dance and lift everyone's spirits. I'm like,
I found him amusing in Endwalker. I'm not gonna lie. I found him super amusing when he tried to impress. I can't remember her name, but you do meet her, and he's also tried to impress her during Heaven's Ward. He tries to impress her by dressing sexy in warrior armor. That was fucking
just like
hilarious.
The Rose Knight or something. What the hell's her name? I know who you're talking about.
It was so funny. I love scenes with the two of them because she always shuts him down so hard.
You know who I'm disappointed we haven't seen more of in like a future story, even if it was like return to Ishgard stuff? Where's Hilda?
True.
Oh, absolutely.
Hilda should have been the one that showed up.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
She would have brought a fucking gun.
many guns.
Well, even I'm forgetting her. I'm forgetting her name because it's been so long since I did that. The quest line, the machinist character,
Joy.
Yes, she would have been a better choice.
Yep, bring them both. They work together great in the level 80 machinist quest. Bring them both on. We can have some more comedic moments of them being gun girlfriends. I love it.
Yeah, they definitely should have been who came. Or at least, like, been along with Emmeline to, like, help him not be so fucking useless.
Right.
They should have been the ones who came. Giggity.
Speaking of giggity, since you haven't... Oh, wait, you have watched the trailer. Being the YouTube reaction watcher whore that I am, I have watched about 10 different people react to the trailer for Dawn Trail, the extended one. And in at least half of them, when it gets to Estinian, in half of them, they're like, Estinian's wet.
See, I was watching it at like 2 a.m. with Ward next to me and Butterscotch in my lap, so I was like, Bestinian, bestie. I have a love hate. I love Estinian, but I love to give him shit because he's a smelly boy. Come on, like Jesus Christ.
And now he's playing Monster Hunter.
Seriously.
Yeah. He never showers. He's always sweaty. He's wearing like Ishgardian armor, which means that it's super warm, so he's definitely very sweaty. And his lance is covered in dried dragon blood. This boy is a smelly, smelly boy. He's basically just like a feral little creature that we let follow us around.
You're saying he's the Wolverine of the Scions?
Yes,
oh,
basically.
God, it's a very apt comparison. I mean, he runs around Thavnair in that hot and humid freaking environment in full Dragoon armor. How the hell do you not constantly reek from like miles away? Or
he's like, don't worry, I put my hair in a ponytail. It's like, that's not what I was worried about, Estinian.
Great. Now all your hair has gone from smelly all over your neck to just one specific part. It's not an improvement, Dragoon Boy.
Imagine opening the door to the room at the Megaduda and just letting it waft over you.
See, the clearly Freatr's construct cannot smell.
Also, he likes eating squid. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, right? God, he's fishy, and he's stinky, and he's the. I love making fun of him, and it's like a kind of cute aggression, but for hot guys. I don't know.
I'm just surprised that you haven't called him a Stinkian yet.
Oh my God! I will now.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't know. I always call him Bestinian and Bestie, and then I go off about how dumb and stinky he is. That's how I show my love.
Before we wrap up, Brandon, have you been playing any recent 14 stuff, or you been pretty much as submersed in BG3 and other games as I have?
Lately, just because I get onto my computer and so late because stuff's had been happening after school with the kids, and we just had a whole bunch of other random crap going on. I haven't had a lot of time to where I feel like I can really dive into BG3, so I haven't touched it in probably a week or so. And yes, I am salty about that. So I've mostly been, completing the new MSQ on my alts. I've been working on various relic weapons. I did finally go from 0 to the majestic version on my Femro for the warrior axe, and that thing is gorgeous. By the way, if you haven't checked that thing out, it is pretty. It's a ginormous, and the majestic version is just wreathed in flames. It looks spectacular. Aside from that, that's pretty much been about it. I haven't really, dived into anything else major just because of a lack of time. Life's been crazy busy this month.
Yeah, that is understandable. I just got done with a 9-day staycation, and the majority of that staycation was me playing an absurd amount of Baldur's Gate to finish the campaign. And now that I've got that out of the way, I can ponder doing 14 things again. Or, there's still Starfield if I'm interested in it, which off and on. But there's
so uninterested in that.
I had a friend who picked it up, an old work buddy, and he said he returned it within a week.
Oh wow!
I've heard it's glitchy and boring, and I'm like, oh, those are two not good things. Well, glitchy can be fun if it's hilarious and not super frustrating, but boring, that's a problem.
As far as like the next kind of story-ish game that I'm thinking about getting into, I would like to play Spider-Man 2. There's just one problem with playing Spider-Man 2. Have not played Spider-Man 1 yet.
Oh no.
And so as much as I'd like to play Spider-Man 2, I know that Spider-Man game is set in its own universe, and I think I would be doing myself a disservice playing 2 without having played 1 first. So
I mean, I played Mass Effect 2 before ever touching 1, so hey, if I can pull that off, you can do it too.
I mean, I'm sure I could, but I feel like I'd more appreciate the journey playing 1 first and then 2. It's kind of like it's like trying to play Horizon Forgotten West or whatever without playing Zero Dawn.
West. I don't know why I know that.
Or Forbidden West.
I don't play anything that's not on the PC.
I have a PS4 copy of Horizon Zero Dawn that I've owned for I don't even know how long since my friend sold me his copy, and I have still not touched it, and I am deeply ashamed of this fact.
All I know about Horizon Zero Dawn was Neckbeard's freaking out because Ally had little baby hairs on her face. Intense graphical fidelity, and they're like, "Is she a man?"
Oh my gosh!
Please illustrate that you have never been close to a woman.
All right, last thing before we head into our outro, Meagan.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I was stretching. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Continue.
Name an anime that you've watched recently that we should be checking out that we probably never will, but should anyhow.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm recommending this anime, but just know it's not really, the main character is a creepy pervy loser, but I still really like the show. It's called Mushoku Tensei. It's sort of like the godfather of all isekai, but it's actually like good. The world building is really good. The animation's really good. And the characters are really good, even though the main character does some things that are really fucking bad. And I keep saying I can never recommend the show to anyone, but here I am recommending it.
Here you are.
What the hell? Look, the rest of it is so good. And like, he's such a compelling character that I'm like, and other characters kick his ass for his bullshit a lot. So it's good. It's entertaining. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. The world is incredibly well realized. The magic system is really fun, and it really takes advantage of the isekai premise, which is being reincarnated in another world with all your memories. Like, if you could be a fully conscious being from the time you were a baby, and you had fully adult memories, like, how could you take advantage of that to set yourself up for success in life? And then on top of that, how could he sort of game this magic system by, like, you know, having full adult intelligence in a child body? It's interesting, and it's cool, and it's like it's one of those ones where, like, you're like, I'm gonna watch one episode, and then at the end of the episode you're like, fuck, I want to know what happens next. But yeah, it's good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm watching it with Ward. There's 2 seasons. The second season just came out. Highly recommend, but be okay. Like, it is exactly the kind of anime bullshit that I usually cannot stand, and yet I can stand it in this instance. And it makes it so hard to, like, defend and recommend it, but at the same time, I recommend it. You should watch it. And, like, I could make a fucking dissertation on the problematic elements of Mushoku Tensei, and yet I like it. And my brain is soup, so I can't be super eloquent. I would say,
it's fun.
Give it a watch. Give, like, a first episode. If you could get through the first episode, then you're down. And you'll if the first episode doesn't hook you, then you know.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Yes, it's on Crunchyroll. It's on Hulu also, I think. It's a very popular show. It's all over the place. Mushoku Tensei.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode. I don't know if we'll be back in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It depends on how much we want to talk about Fall Guys or other Final Fantasy 14 shenanigans. So we'll see. Yeah, I think that the first episode after Fall Guys has to be some sort of we fall. That almost is a must. It's mandatory. But until then, Brandon, where can people find you on the internets?
Best place to find me these days is Blue Sky, because the more news comes out about Twitter, the less I want to even touch that mess with a 10-foot pole. But pretty much anywhere you want to go look for me, I'm the BMAT, THEBMATT. Find me, follow me, and enjoy the sporadic social media posts I put out. And yeah, that's it. You can also catch me on the Dungeons and Dragons podcast, +5 to hit, where we are currently debating what we're going to do during our little current break that we've got going on.
I will say the last episode before the break is going to go up in a few days, and it's an interesting one.
It absolutely is.
Meagan, where can people find your cat mom shenanigans?
You can find me at Cat Mom Meagan everywhere, pretty much. Like at this point, I also have Instagram. I have TikTok. I have Twitter, but I mostly use the Twitter just to announce when I'm streaming. The other thing is I stream on Twitch about Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Although I'm thinking about changing up the schedule because for some reason streaming on Fridays there's just nobody there. Are you guys all outside? Why are you outside? Come back inside and watch me stream.
Are you going to stream on Halloween, or are you going to stream any particular scary game for Halloween?
I'm thinking about starting up a new scary game, Song of Horror. I even made a little spooky stream background for it and everything. I still have to finish Soma, but I don't know if I'm in the mood to ponder my humanity. So, so yeah. Also, on my TikTok, I was trying to look up the comment, but somebody was like, "Hey, I came here from your podcast. Tell the guys I said hi." So, hi, but I can't find their username. I was looking through TikTok. Now I feel bad. But
hi, person who commented on Megan's TikTok.
Yeah,
really
hi.
Appreciate you listening.
Hey,
and
I apologize for none of my dad jokes, and I never will.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm everywhere. I have not been streaming as much as I should be, but it's the soup brain. Mostly I need to play things that are extremely simple on stream, which is not great. Mostly I have just been knitting and watching TV because that takes zero brain.
Speaking of stuff you're doing, Meagan, I have a question.
What?
Are you ever going to update your webtoon? Because I really, really liked it.
Oh, which one?
The Pickup Group to Another World one.
Oh, yeah, I'm planning to restart that. The board really wants me to restart that one too. And I have a lot of good ideas for that. But again, soup brain.
Soup. Yeah.
I'm planning to get back into that, and I have a lot of plans. Fucking goddamn. The Chaos Gremlin is not a bit, all right. It is my life. My life is chaos. But yeah, I might start doing streaming drawing the webcomic, but nobody cares. Everybody just wants to see you draw waifus.
If I recall correctly, it's been some time since I read it. That comic had a number of waifus.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of them is a dude who gets reincarnated. Okay, so it's a group of people getting reincarnated into their MMO characters. So one of them is a guy who got reincarnated into a sexy cat girl, and he can't walk in his super sexy stiletto high heel shoes.
That's great.
So that's what that webcomic is like. Yeah.
Sounds like the kind of chaos I would expect from you. All right. Well, as far as myself, you can find me on Twitter at Podcaster Row, Podcaster RHO. You can find the show on Twitter at A Podcast Reborn. The podcast is eventually going to have a Blue Sky account, and I'll let you guys know what that is soon-ish. You can email us at apodcastreborn@gmail.com. And you can find out more about our show, and you can check out some merch over at bonusroll.gg. We are a part of the Bonus Roll Productions group. The theme music this time is provided by Husky by the Geek. A link to his YouTube channel will be included in the show notes. And, of course, that music and other derivatives of Final Fantasy XIV music you hear on the podcast belongs entirely to Square Enix, and no copyright infringement is intended. That is going to do it for episode 44. We will see you in not too long for episode 45. For Meagan, Brandon, and of course for Butterscotch and Bonbon, this is Brian Black. Until next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon?
So I have a question for you guys. Why did the quality of food improve so much in Endwalker?
Why?
Man, I'm gonna hate this answer. Go ahead.
Because we finally got Guy Vieira.
Oh, if only they could have frosted tips.
Welcome to Flavor Town, listeners.
Guy Vieira. I will never think of Aaronville the same way again.
Oh my god, do not bring Aaronville into this.
I've ruined Buddy Boys for everyone, and I'm happy about it.
Goodbye, everybody.